Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the LOTRO official Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LOTRO stream. I'm your host, Little Redhead, and I'll be taking you around Middle Earth today, or at least some parts of it. Maybe a little bit more than your average stream, actually. Got a couple of places we're probably going to head out to today. So, first thing is I want to address a couple of plugins situations real quick. Hello, before. Um, so turns out, and I did not realize this, but you can make a profile in TitanBar. So I've got TitanBar. Yeah, just ignore the time to talk to Wind in the middle. We'll deal with that in a second. TitanBar up here at the top of the screen. I use that prolifically. I love using that on all my characters. And we just moved our characters recently from Treebeard. But it's time to talk to Wenda. It is time to talk to Wenda. Yes, we'll do that in a moment. So we moved, and when you move from one server to another, sometimes your plugins, the data is attached to your character on that server, and so you move to a new server, you have to make some adjustments for it to catch up. But I just discovered, because before it just told me so, that TitanBar has a profile thing, which I totally didn't even know. So if I do the right click on TitanBar and you get all those options, I was going to just start like manipulating all the stuff here. Let me do it maybe over on the side. There you go. But if you scroll down, there's a thing here called profile. So I'd already made the changes to Rosenbloom on this server. So I just popped over to Rosenbloom and created a profile. I just called it TitanBar because then I know what it is. So I can now come to this guy, Winkle, click on TitanBar and load, and boom, all of those settings that I had already done are now available, are already set on him. Totally didn't know you could do that, but that is a wonderful time saver because normally I just go through all the check boxes and I'm like, do I want this, right? Yeah, no, oh no, I don't like that. Oh yeah, I still want this, and oh yeah, and I need to set this. Because one of the things I run into is I get really close to, as you can see, overfilling, or maybe you can't see, maybe the numbers are pretty small, but let me tell you, I have my Motes of Enchantment, my Figments of Splendor, and my Embers of Enchantment at the top. Actually, they're in the wrong order, but that's okay, I can fix that later. And my Motes of Enchantment are currently at 8,688. There's a cap of 10,000, so I'm getting really close to the cap there. And then also my Embers of Enchantment are at 8,300. 8,300. So again, I'm getting close to the cap there. But I can look at my Figments of Splendor and be like, oh, okay, I've only got 30,050. We're good. Okay, so that was a fun little thing I just wanted to share because that's really cool. Before it says, note that TitanBar reloads itself when you load a profile, so it may close any TitanBar windows you had open. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is deal with this. So the subscriber buffs reminder, I went ahead and loaded that, and it loads for all of my characters on this server and over on Mary, because I think this is really useful to me. So when we transferred over, the transfer, there was like this funny little bug that happened where the little bauble that we get, the subscriber town services, it extended, if you had it in your inventory, it extended it for, I don't know, a couple of years. So it technically doesn't expire at this time. They may fix this in the future, but currently the one in my inventory doesn't expire for 42 months and 27 days. So I can hold on to this and use it for quite a long time. And so that's why I have it over here on my little bar where I can see it really easily. However, my subscriber buffs, the thing that keeps me from having wear and tear when I use my weaponry or, the crafting tool, or when I am crafting, it also makes things go faster. So I don't have that on me. That does expire every 14 days. So this plugin, before put together, it looks, I believe if I understand it correctly, it looks at the buffs that you have on your character at this time, and it looks to see if you have that currently there. Now this is just for VIP subscribers. Just to be clear, this isn't like everything. So I understand this is kind of a niche product, but it makes me very happy. Sorry, my bars are just slightly off from one another, and I don't like it. There we go. Okay, looks like that's another thing I need to fix. I need to fix the template. But anyway, so I need to go talk to Wenda. So I'm out here adventuring, blah, 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 doing my thing. And all of a sudden, I log in and it says, hey, it's time to talk to Wenda. Cool. So I'm going to actually, let me make sure. I want to go to Monstain's house. Not Monstain Ain, but Monstain with no number. Yep, that's her. And I want to visit her. So I'm using my kinship travel skill to go, because she's in the kinship and she has the house I want to go to. So I'm going to click on visit, and it's going to use my kinship member's house travel skill. Now the cool thing with that one and your if you have a premium house, your premium house travel skill is that the last one that you used it for, the last one you visited, that's the one it will by default take you to if you just click on the button from then forward. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so the reason I wanted to come here is twofold. One, there's ingredient crates I want to come back to. But two, Wenda is like right outside our gates here. So, all right. So here's the cool thing too is like this reminder is just going to stick around. But now I'm going to talk to Wenda. I accept her request. I talk to Wenda. Oops.
Greetings, friend.
I finish. I've got the stuff in my inventory. I consume the jug. Boom. The little reminders go away on its own. So you could leave that, excuse me, leave that up if you wanted it to, you know, until you actually talk to Wenda, because it will clear itself. So that's pretty neat. So yay for that. Well, hello, Skigosi. Oh, yes, B4 points out that early 2029 will be sad for him because all of those subscriber buffs that we have will expire at that time if they haven't already done something about that bug by then. So how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling much better, so thank you for asking. And you have downloaded the Wenda plugin. I know, it's so handy, right? I love it. I'm already getting good use out of it. It's what I would consider a peace of mind kind of plugin. Do you want to get on my lap, Kato? You definitely have that look about you. Come here. I have double blanket today, so my lap is definitely nice and squishy. Come on. I know you want to. If you don't climb in there on your own, I'll just pick you up, you know. There you go. I create like a little pocket between my legs so she can just kind of, you know, feel nice and nestled in there. Her little nest. Okay. So I have, yes, it sounds like I'm doing better. I know, right? Yeah, it was crazy. I now have a spray that I do every day, and it's supposed to open up my sinuses to make it easier for me to breathe and everything. It's something they use for people who suffer from asthma. And we have asthma in the family, so you could say that I suffer from asthma symptoms. Anyway, so that seems to be working out really well and keeping me nice and able to breathe. Being able to breathe, man, I tell you, it's such a joy. All right, so two things, and I did put this in the description for today's thing, is I would like to be escorted by B4 off to the place where you can get level 115 armor and jewelry, and that's a Mordor thing, and that gives you that light of Erendel. That will help you as you're traveling through there. So that's definitely one thing that we're going to go and do, and that's going to use up a bunch of those, either the motes or the embers. It's one of those two. It's going to use up a bunch of that. So that is fine that I'm a little bit high in those numbers, because I'll be able to then buy the stuff for this character because these characters are kind of running through there. So our main characters on this server are currently questing in Mordor. And then sometimes B4 kind of like takes a pair of us and runs ahead to kind of like get used to what the quests are and where we're going and get the rhythm and stuff like that. And I'm not really paying attention to any of that. So I'm just along for the ride, to be honest. But anyway, we're going to go do that for these 4 questing characters, you know, questing ahead, not 4 as in the number, but going 4. And then when we get there and do this again with our main characters, it'll be a lot more like, oh yeah, I got this. I have a concept of what we're doing here. So that's one thing we're going to do. And then if there's time, I'm also going to do the Baggins' birthday stuff, because that is also a thing happening right now. It only happens for a few days, so you don't have a lot of time to do it, but it's celebrating Bilbo and Frodo's birthdays, which is great. Yeah, Doc Parnas says you can use moats for Mordor gear, which is the goal of this stream, is to use the moats, thank you, of enchantment. And we're going to go do some Mordor gearing up. So, all right, before, what do I do? Did I click on the boxes? I did. I did that without even mentioning it. I'm sorry. Just in case there's folks in the stream who don't know about this, there's these boxes and these ingredient crates, and you can click on them once every 22 hours, and it gives you free universal ingredient packs, which is cool. We're going to Udon for noodles. Do I have a travel to Udon? Return to Udon Foothold. Is that where I want to go? I assume. Oh, hey, before I do that then, because that's a travel skill, I got this Jaunty Patrons Luxuriant Cosmetics coffer, and what's in it includes the Tome of the Jaunty Monkey, so that's a pet, and I've got a Jaunty Steed, but this is what I want. The Jaunty Milestone Style Emote. I want to grab that. Oh, and the hand nails. Groovy. And then the hand nails themselves are actually in the box, which I have now just opened. Anyway, okay. But I want to go to now my collections, and I want to go to my emotes, and I want to go to the milestone emotes, and I want to pick Jaunty. So I've activated that one. So now when I use a milestone, it'll use the Jaunty emote, which is me talking to a monkey, which is pretty funny. Okay, I'm in the place where there's no noodles. So sad. I know, it's so cute, right, Skagosi? Oh my gosh, it cracks me up. Why am I on a goat? What the heck? Hold on, we gotta deal with this. Sorry, y'all. Mount maintenance is important here. Reasons. I was probably in Mordor. No, Moria. Underground. I was probably underground. Let's see. I'm wearing the Tom Bombadil outfit. Gosh, what even goes with that? How about maybe the Whimsical Steed? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna throw a Whimsical Steed. Ugh. My mouse is acting up, so I'm having trouble dragging things. There we go. All right, we're gonna stick that over there, just in case this is what I want to stick with. What do we think? Yeah, that's not a bad look for him. Okay. Hi, Tasha. Oh, am I here already? That was fast. I'm like ready for a journey. Hi, Enchanter. This one in the middle. Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk to this person here. Sure.
Which you need?
I guess browsing the shop isn't what I need. Those look like ingredients, recipes. I mean. But barter items, that's probably where I want to go. Okay. So B4 is going to help walk me through this. So, Hello, Jake. Jake. I feel like there's some yai going on in there. Okay, so B4 is telling me here that the high enchanter here that I'm talking to, this person, this barterer in the middle, sorry, I cannot drag, has some sets of armor, and that's what we're looking at here. So we've got some options. Oh, for heck's sake. There we go. High towers sets. Okay, so there's 2 of each, high, medium, and light. This character is a minstrel, so I think I can go to medium, if I can recall correctly. That's light.
That's long.
That's
Light, you have to go down.
heavy.
Heavy. Light.
Oh, maybe light. Oh, maybe it's my hunter that can wear medium. Okay. All right. So, oh, I see. And so there's generally targeted towards the red or the blue line. And with this character, what am I even doing? I am in the red line with this character, the warrior scald. Okay. With a bunch of yellow going on. Sounds good. Okay. So what set do I want? The first set of high, medium, light costs 70. That's what we're looking at here. The second set costs 140, which would be on another page. And then we've got some stuff here that's 290. That's looking like some jewelry stuff. Each increase is slightly better. Oh yeah, okay, so the last set costs 420. Okay. And each set has some special stuff at the bottom with different prices. Okay, so oh yeah, and then they can disenchant to motes of enchantment, which is nice because you're buying them with motes of enchantment, so at least you can get, a fraction of your money back after you wear it for a while. Okay, and then he's saying that there's also a level jump here. So the basic set I can get at level 112, but so it says there, information, item level, the stats, and then underneath the durability, and then it says minimum level 112, and then there's also some other stuff that requires you to be the more expensive stuff requires you to be level 115, which I am now with this character. So we are able to look at that stuff. So what am I looking for here? There's a light towers set and a light last allegiance set, a light expedition vanguard, light Mordor Bane. Oh, I'm seeing that we have, that says rare. The next one says incomparable. This is reminding me a little bit of the things that go into our legendaries. So I'm guessing I want to look at the light incomparable stuff. So we have, yeah.
How much you want to spend?
I don't know. Okay, so by default, the light towers. Oh, okay, down here. Oops. Is probably going to be the best match for red line, but it never hurts to compare with the light last alliance set. Run right below it. So these are the pieces that only cost 70 to purchase, and that's fine because this is a secondary character. So we can definitely do the 70 here and then spend the good money on my main character when we get here. Well, thanks. You're so funny. One of the folks here in the chat just sent me some fireworks. How would you like to see a firework? It's the pinwheel one. That's fun. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Back to business. So I'm going to buy up to 13 pieces. So at the 420 cost per piece level, that will be 5,460 motes of enchantment. Yes, Epikai, thank you so much. That is hilarious. I I feel like I should give those over to my main, but I'm having too much fun with them right here. Okay, so I will. Sorry. Squirrel. All right, so let me buy the. Let's just buy, I guess, the Light Tower set or the Last Alliance set, honey. Which one do you think is better for my guy
I
here?
would do the cheap stuff. It's good enough.
Yeah, aren't they both the cheap stuff?
Oh,
Yeah, these are the two, the
Light
cheap set.
Towers. Light Towers is more DPS. Last Alliance is more outgoing healing.
Okay, so he's saying the Light Tower set is going to give me more DPS, and the Last Alliance set would give more outgoing healing. But I don't play this minstrel to heal things. I play it to attack things.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with the tower set so I can attack things. Okay, so now let's say we've got a cap. Is there just one of each thing? I feel like there's a lot of stuff here.
So
Oh, because we have jewelry.
both of those seem fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna get this fancy. Okay, actually, honey, before I do this, can I? I know it would move these things, but are you okay if I sort?
What?
I have these things here that you set aside for me, but can I just sort and get all this stuff out of my way so my new stuff shows up at the top?
Go for it.
Okay, good.
You do you.
Okay, good. I would drag things, but this thing not dragging well, I don't want to risk it. Okay, so the fancy cap of the towers, we're thinking this is a good one for me, so we'll start with that. And the embroidered mantle of the towers, going to grab one of those. Should I go ahead and get the padded waistcoat of the towers?
I think the Towers is a reasonable thing just to get across the board.
Okay, so I'm going to grab one of those. And we'll grab some gloves.
Just stop when you get to the blue stuff.
Okay. Get some trousers. And some shoes. Got to get the matching shoes, apparently. And a cloak. Okay. So now I'm stopping for a second because now we're getting into jewelry. And I don't know if I need all that jewelry or not.
It's probably good. I just wouldn't get the.
All right. So what? So I'm going to go ahead. Okay. So what this is going to do is. Oh, honey, you know what's funny? I think I already have stuff that's identical to this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's so sad, though.
Well, don't buy them.
I already did.
Disenchant it for half.
Well, let's take a look real quick. Okay, so, yeah, 601 armor, 280 will, 193 vitality, 806 tactical, and plus 10 light of Arendelle.
You do have those.
I do.
That's fine.
It was crafted by you.
Oh, interesting.
Well, let's see if I have it across the board, though.
Are those new items bound to account or
They're
character?
bound to Venkel.
Okay, well.
So sad. Oh, wait. Here, this one's different. This one's different.
For some reason, I didn't remember that we had done that with Michael.
But, yeah, actually, no, hang on. But look, this one's different. So, Will's the same. Vitality's the same. The Light of Arendelle is the same. But the one I have has critical rating, and the one I just bought has fate.
Well, for you, critic rating is probably better. So.
Probably better, so I'll leave it. Okay. And then, are these the same? Same will, vitality, fate, tactical, light. Yep. Okay. So before I buy any jewelry, we're going to see what jewelry I have on. Because apparently we've been keeping this character up to date without realizing it. Evade, critical, light, that looks the same.
Yeah, she'll
Well, these say crafted by Affodil.
jewelry.
Oh, I see. You're looking at head. Vitality, critical, tactical, light. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pop into my vault and grab my Flame of Calamir. Yeah. And we're going to disenchant all these things that I just bought. So I bought them for 70. No, yeah, I bought them for 70. I'm going to get back 10 there, 40 there. Yeah, so it's kind of random, but oh well. But anyway, okay, you know what? We'll just call this like, hey, this was a great thing to show on stream. Oh, well, that's okay. I do enough with festivals and stuff that we get plenty of that stuff, so it's not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, So then, okay, so if I have the plus 25% earrings, we'd keep those though. So let's see what I've got. So I've got a necklace, currently that has just slightly more will, slightly more vitality, less evade, but it still has that 10 light of Arendelle. And it's got 2 basic essence slots, so it's probably fine. I'll probably keep, and it's blue. Blue's better than purple, right? Now, the ring I have is I'm looking at the carved jade ring of the towers, and I have the carved jade ring of the Doomfold. I'm gonna guess it's probably pretty darn close, if not identical. It is. Okay, so I don't need one of those. I don't think we switched to the onyx ring, so we're good there. Delicate gold armlet of the towers or of the Alliance Renewed. Yeah, Shieldbach setting me up pretty good here. That's pretty awesome. Thanks, Shieldbach. Yep, and these already have that Light of Arendelle on them. Arendelle. I assume it's like, well, I look at everything like it's Dutch now. So I see the E, and then I see the A with the 2 dots over it. And I assume it's pronounced as a separate syllable. So, Arendelle. Arendelle. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. So these are earrings that you get out of expansion packs. So they level up as you level up, the earrings that I currently am wearing. And it's like a smorgasbord. It's a little bit of everything. A little buffet here. So like I've got might and agility and will and vitality and so on. The will is a little bit lower than what I could get from buying these ear cuffs. Vitality is actually better than what I could purchase here. Critical rating, it's close to the same. What I've got on is slightly lower, but I think it's okay. The difference is the earrings that I could get would have the light on them, which helps deal with the effects you get in Mordor. But, you know, is it worth switching off? And as B4 says, the 25% earrings that I have, they give 25% to all forms of XP until level 140. That's the Fleet Merchant earring. And the other one, the Fateful Gundabad earring I have on, gives 25% to all forms of XP until level 130. And I think I have... Oh, what's the next one? Fateful Gundabad, that's that. Fleet Merchant's that. I swear there's one that does up until 150, but maybe I'm thinking the other way. Maybe it was 120. So maybe the next expansion that's coming out like in a month or something, will have another one of these in it. And we'll probably get the expansion just because I like getting all the goodies. So, okay. And then that's also going to be, okay. So we're skipping that. And then this pocket item, the pocket item I have looks pretty good. It's got a little bit more will, a little bit more vitality, a little less evade, but yeah, in the same light. So I think we're good. So I didn't actually need to purchase anything from here, but man, it's good to know that this is where to go. So you come in, how did I get here? I had the milestone set, but this is the Udon foothold. So I think you go in there and do some questing. Is that the place or something? Yeah. So anyway, if you find yourself at this place, oh, I know where we are. We're close to, yeah, we're close to here. Oh, I forgot to have a small map here. We're here, and if you go that way, Gandalf's hanging out there, and the Black Gate is out there. So this is kind of like foothold. That, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I kind of phase out sometimes when we get in here because this whole place is just so, I don't know, overwhelming. But yeah, if you go back that way, that's where we came in. That's where all the stuff, the interactivity happened that we were involved in story-wise. And then the stuff that Frodo and Sam were involved in is, you know, a different direction. Okay, so that's where we are, is here. Ta-da! Cool. Well, that was cool. We got that sorted out. Hey, you want to go do some Baggins stuff? Are you? Oh, you're a minstrel too. I was gonna say, are you a hunter? Okay, sweet. So Tasha's gonna step out. Are you bringing in a hunter
Could do.
or somebody else who doesn't have it already done?
I would do either Hunter or Skillblock Guardian.
Okay. I think we can get there. You know, I don't think you need to bring a hunter. If you have somebody who hasn't done it, we could do it together. So one of the things we did is that before and we had all these characters, tons of characters over on Treebeard, but not all of them did everything. So Baggins' birthday is actually something. Baggins's birthday is something that we did not actually do with all of our characters there. So, all right, where are you at? You're at Dor Amarth.
Hey, come.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I was gonna say, or I could meet you somewhere.
We could ride to the ruins.
Ride to the ruins.
Yeah, Steadmaster.
I mean, but we're trying to go to, I think, Rivendell.
Yeah, you proposed meeting me.
Come then.
This guy doesn't know how to get to Rivendell.
Okay.
He's never heard of it. Well, maybe. No, he probably hasn't. He's a ranger. You know, he may have heard of it. He certainly doesn't know how to get there. You know, it's a hidden enclave. Not everybody knows where to find it. But let's see. Hello, Schildwacht. So there we go. There's our Schildwacht. Hello, Schildwacht. All right. So the best way to get there. I mean, we could. Oh yeah, we could just go to the kinship stuff. Okay. Do I have? Oh my gosh, what do I have here? Oh my, I have 1 hour cooldowns. How sad. All right, so I will travel to my personal house, I think. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Oh wait, let me get down. I think it does this on this one too. Yeah, gotta see that monkey again. This is why you don't be mounted up when you do these things, right? Oh yeah, so before I was pointing out that we use the diuresis, the 2 dots, diuretic mark in English for things like cooperate and stuff like that. So, oh hey, okay, so this is something that came up previously in the chat last week. That when you sit in a chair, like in most of the housing items. Let me see if I have one in my house real quick. Do I have a stool or anything in here? I don't. You can't sit down in my house, sorry. You're just not allowed. Let me see if I have one of these stools in my inventory here. No, I don't. Oh well. Basically, like if you have a chair or a stool or something and you go to sit on it, it will move it out and put your character on top of one in that spot. However, we were discussing the fact that this new set here, which was available at the last festival, this Apple Pickers Party set, if you go to, like, if you go to the chair or whatever, and you do like a sit, the chair doesn't go anywhere. You just sit on top of what's there in the same sitting position that you do when you're sitting on the ground. So let me like move to the ground just to show you. So if I just sit on the ground, it's the same look with the feet out in front because this is a male hobbit. But the where'd it go? I have the bench of the silent hunter. Where is it? It's supposed to be right here. Oh my gosh, it's gone invisible. What the heck? It was there when I came in a second ago. Okay, this is really weird. There, it's that. I mean, if I move it slightly, does it show up? Oh my gosh. It's... Well, let's see if I can make it work while it's invisible. Oh, let me get out of that. That is so funny. Okay, no, it won't let me do it. We'll try later. But basically, the bench that was there a moment ago, if you sit in it, you actually sit on the bench, not just in air. So that was the conversation that happened last week, I think it was, where the thing is that you cannot pull this chair out and sit on it. It's not interactable, whereas the bench is. And I was going to show you an example of that, but not today, apparently. So. Oh well. Okay, so we went to kinship housing though because, well, yeah, personal housing, because if you go to the far-ranging stable master here, he knows the way to Rivendell. If you scroll down to the Trollshaws with a T, T for the, and go to Rivendell Stables. Funny thing is, I probably have a ton of those travel to Rivendells, but that's okay. To the word horde. So, and then you can click on the stable master here, and if you've been there, you can go to the last homely house, and they'll send you right over there, which is nice. Yeah, Malo has a chair in inside that town center. That's true. That is true. It's gonna go see. Oh well, that's okay. So I have like a gob ton of what's it called? Ancient script. Yeah, I have 64,000, and your cap is 10,000, but they let you run over, if you're combining from multiple, like from other servers and stuff. So thankfully, I didn't just lose it. Unlike the figments and embers, because those do disappear if you go over. But anyway, okay. So we need to talk to Frodo in the Lost Homely House. That is on our to-do item here. It says, speak to Frodo Baggins in the Lost Homely House in Rivendell. He can be found in Rivendell in the Lost Homely House. The birthday of Frodo and Bilbo Baggins is upon us. Frodo is looking for an adventurer to assist him with a birthday surprise for his uncle Bilbo. All right. And the cool thing is, because I'm a character who earns legendary experience because I have my allies and all that, I will earn legendary experience for this. So, yeah. Shieldbach says we need to drag Gandalf everywhere. He gives us +9 hope. Indeed. All right. So Frodo, he says, you're here to assist with my birthday surprise for Uncle Bilbo? We say yes. Oh, hey, let's take a quick look. So I am currently into box number 12 here on the legendary item reward track. So I finished this.
Please.
Boom. Nice little chunk. Yes, 60,000 script. Oh my. Yeah, I'll show you here in a second before we leave a thing you can do with it if you end up in this situation like myself. All right, so he says, Venkel, I'm glad you're here. I am in need of an adventurer such as yourself to help with a birthday surprise for my Uncle Bilbo. When Bilbo decided to resettle in Rivendell, he did it in typical fashion, as you may have heard, with a bang and a flash, disappearing right during his own birthday party. In that moment, he instantly became the subject of many a tall tale and increasingly exaggerated legend. I know he'd be amused no end to hear these stories, but I myself can't go collect them. The next time you're in the Shire, can you go do this for me? Were I you, I'd start with the gaffer. He hears most everything worth hearing, and he will surely know who you should talk to in order to obtain the very best tales. Oh, and there's a quest and a deed, both with Baggins' birthday. We just did the quest. Frodo Baggins is looking for an adventurer to help in a birthday surprise for his Uncle Bilbo. Oh, yeah. Wait, pull that back out. So there's this goose. That was you, right? Yeah. This one, the Loyal Goose of Gondor. There's something about it, how it cannot deal with the shadows properly. And so, like, it does this really weird thing of how the light hitting it and creating shadows does wacky stuff. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, I love that one. It's a shape-shifted dragon. Love it. Okay. Yes, rawr. So Cappy says, hello everyone. When you go to Bag End, you can sit in one of the chairs outside the house. Hey, are these chairs interactable? Let's find out. Let's see. Yeah, so, oh. Seriously, it kicked me out. There. So see how I'm sitting in the chair? It moved away from where it was sitting next to the table and became a separate item. That's what the interactable chairs. And look how my feet are different. Like they're down, hanging down. Yeah, see how your legs are hanging. You know, Shieldbox's legs are hanging down. Hands are in our lap. Instead of with the male hobbit, the legs sticking straight out, and with the female hobbit with the legs off to the side. So this is what it looks like when you interact with an object that you can sit in. And somebody was saying last week or the week before about how that new apple picker set, how the chair isn't like this, and they're hoping maybe someday in the future it will be. Yes, I would like to head to Bag End, but first I want to go upstairs to the Word Hoard because I want to do a thing there real quick. And also, hi guys. Hello. Hello. Somebody fell down. Why not? Hanging with the hobbits. So here's something you can do, because I find that when I have done the legendary item reward track, I end up with more ancient script than I can spend. I know, it's a nice problem to have. But one thing you can do is in here, after you've done everything you can to spend it on, you know, your legendaries and stuff, is you can come talk to this lady, and she has under her barter items, it's like on the last page, I think. So let's just skip to the last page. Map to the tracery archive costs 200, but when you have 64,000, spending 200 ain't no problem. So I'll just buy. So like I'll just buy like 10, 11, 12, 13. I'll just buy 20 of these. Why not? Cool. And then if I can effectively drag, we'll find out. I'm just going to put these because they're bound to account. Oh, wait, not even. Oh, hey, they're not even bound to account. So I just like drag these and I keep them in my shared storage. So whenever any one of my 4 pages of characters has a need to go to Rivendell, especially here, I'll just take one of those and say, and quick travel right here. Boom, easy peasy. Now, it definitely takes you to this place. So if you wanted to go somewhere else in Rivendell, you'd have to leave. But still, I mean, I've got enough that I could buy hundreds of those if I wanted to. So I'm just, yeah, I just buy a whole bunch of those and I figure that's good. Okay, so now I need to find my way over to Bag End. So my options are, let's see, I have a travel skill to Mickle Delving. I might just do that. Okay, because all of my cooldowns are 1 hour. So, me and that monkey. Wonder if there's that Beatles song about me and my monkey. Maybe I should take a look at those lyrics. Maybe rewrite it for the for this. Oh, actually, I don't know why I'm getting on my mount. Because I'm gonna have this guy send me to Hobbiton. Because that's really where I want to go. Is I want to go to Hobbiton. Because that's where the party tree is just up the hill from there. Now, if I had done what Schildbach has probably done, I could have gone back to housing and talked to the far-ranging stable master, and one of the options there is the party tree. So Schildbach probably just went straight to the party tree, is my guess. But yay, welcome back to the Shire. Schildbach forgot about that. Went to Breetown instead. We're just doing all the travel. We're seeing everybody. Going everywhere and seeing everyone. All right, so yes. So we need to, as it says in our task here. Speak to the Gaffer, Gaffer Gamgee in Hobbiton. Okay, so he says, doopity-doop. Why, hello, Frodo sent you to talk to me then. What's that young fry up to now?
I want a word with you.
He says, okay, so you're here to collect stories about Bilbo Baggins, are you? Heard that I would know who to talk to? Naturally, you're correct. Give me a moment and I'll write you down a list of likely hobbits to speak to. Mind you, you'll need to catch them at just the right time. If they don't seem to have a story for you, check back on them in a while. If you want to hear every story, you'll need to have some perseverance. Okay, so is it my inventory? Not yet. Oh, he's going to get the list for me now. He says, right then, here's that list. You'll want to give it a quick look to make sure you can read my handwriting. All right, so here's the gaffer's note. And it says, mind you, remember what I told you, not everyone's going to have the time to talk to you at once. If a hobbit doesn't have a story for you when you want to talk, check back with them later. I'm guessing that's because if multiple people are doing it at once, the character's doing some emoting, and it might not be able to interact with another person at the same time. We will find out, because we're going to do this together. All right, a list of likely hobbits. Ted Sandyman. Ted is located on the south side of the Bywater Bridge, which can be found following the road south out of Hobbiton Bywater. Sheriff Robin Smallborough. Robin is within the Ivy Bush Inn, which is located in the town of Hobbiton Bywater. Dudo Chubb is standing near the Tasks Bulletin Board, north of the center of Hobbiton Bywater. Lobelia Sackville Baggins can be found outside of Bag End on the hill north of here. The storyteller is located inside the Ivy Bush Inn. Hal Hornblower stands near the stables in the southwest corner of the town square. Bogo Chubb is Hobbiton Bywater stable master and can be found at the stables next to Hal. Lotho Sackville Baggins is standing outside of Bag End next to Lobelia. A hobbit child can be found listening to the storyteller inside the Ivy Bush. Hereward Lomsdown is the barkeep of the Ivy Bush. Holly Hornblower, located directly behind the Ivy Bush, can be found standing outside. And Postman Grubb can be found near the mailboxes, near the mailbox in the northwest corner of the town center. Oh, and I have to talk to Gaffer again. Hold on. He says, the note makes sense then. Well, were I you, I'd probably start by talking to Ted Sandyman. Just follow the road south, to the east and then turn south. Ted's standing just south of the Bywater Bridge. I know Ted's got time now, so he'll be happy to share his story. Just remember that not every hobbit on that list will have a story to share whenever you please. Just check back on them from time to time. You'll catch them at a good time, I'm sure, soon enough. Okay. So we have spoken to the Gaffer. How do I get rid of these two bars? I know it's in my options. The green bar and the blue bar. I can't tell when a character has a ring for me because the bars interfere with that for me.
In combat options.
It's in combat
Search
options.
for target
Okay.
or search for vital.
Oh yeah, because I don't want the vitals. Okay, show the vitals of your selection target. That I don't need. And auto target enemies.
Or in UI setting, yeah, selection go this way.
Allow skill button now.
Search for vital.
Okay. I already got that one. Oh, maybe in a different. No, that's all. Show companion vitals in the right vital? No.
Under UI settings, selection vital display.
There it was. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. You can turn that back on when I'm not staring at the screen. Thank you. Okay, so before it says, according to the wiki, when the quest was first introduced in 2013, hobbits have stories to tell, but only 4 of them are active at any single time. Each hour, the active hobbits switch. Okay. Yeah, sounds like a quality of life improvement that they're available all the time now. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy to be like, nope, gotta come back. All right, so Ted Sandyman is out here standing outside his house.
I assume he's always
Might I
active
speak with you a moment?
So, Yeah, so we're thinking, oh, maybe he was always active, but then everybody else, you had to wait and stuff. So he says, surely I'll tell you a tale of Bilbo Baggins and the disappearing act he pulled at his birthday party all those years ago. Just lend me your ear for a moment, okay? So he says, well, now, what I heard is that Bilbo had just about had it on his birthday. So many people, all of them bickering and squawking and trying to sneak into Bag End and look for treasure. Anyone would grow weary and want to be done with it. Bilbo was always an unconventional hobbit, so what I heard tell is that he decided to give everyone a good scare and sneak away. Went to go enjoy himself where all his family wasn't, and went round to all the taverns and inns trying their brew. Now, from what I hear tell, no one's quite sure what really happened after that, but my brother's son's friend's cousin works down at the Green Dragon, and he swears he shipped off a barrel that was heavier than the others the next day, and that it rolled funny like something was in it. Didn't think to question it until after the fact. My guess is that Bilbo enjoyed himself a bit too much, found himself in a cozy barrel, and got shipped off. Goodness only knows where he is now. I wonder what interesting brews he's gotten to try in far-flung lands. That's funny. Okay, so now we have a deed bestowed, which is talk to all these people. And when we finish that deed, we get a title chronicler. We also have the quest that we're working on, which is listen to each one of these stories. So let's, shall we head further south? We could go over to Dudo. I think he had one. All right, so he's got, let's see. Luckily for you, I happen to know the truth of the matter of the odd disappearing act that he pulled at his party. Yes, I do. So he says, as I was saying, here's what happened at that birthday party of Bilbo's. You see, when he was on his adventures, he met up with a pile of dwarves. Yes, dwarves. Anybody who knows anything knows that some of them dwarves got mighty peculiar after losing their home in the mountains far off all that long time ago. Since then, stories say some of them have been known to be a roaming band, doing nearly anything to squeak by, and that would breed loose morals if you ask me. Assuming they ever had any to start with, can't ever be sure with people not of the Shire. No, you cannot. Dudo. He says, I heard that one of those dwarves helped Bilbo dig a complex of tunnels under Bag End, and he simply popped down into those at an opportune moment. Goodness only knows what he's been up to since, but you can bet it's something no respectable hobbit would be caught doing. Okay, like missing meals or something. All right, the postman. What does the postman know? Looking for stories about Bilbo? Well, as postman, I know most people and hear most things. I can certainly spare the time to tell you a tale.
What do you need?
So, he says, so you're wanting to know where Bilbo got himself off to? Well, if you ask around these parts, folks will tell you all kinds of nonsense. He got kidnapped, or is flying his own dragon, or leading a tribe of spiders. Well, the gullibility of hobbits is sometimes not to be believed. They'll latch on to any story they hear, and the more exotic, the better. Can you imagine Bilbo doing any of those things at his age? Gracious, he's a unique sort of hobbit, but he's got limits. I can see you're the sensible sort, so I'll tell you the real truth. Bilbo's always had a terrible fondness for elves. I mean, that's true. Downright unsettling if you ask me, but he was never one to hold with convention. Anyway, he decided to spend the rest of his days with them, invited by elvish leaders and all. All right, this is sounding pretty good. He spent his declining years living with them and enjoying their hospitality, all while writing his memoirs in the form of one-act play. Where there's smog, there's fire. I hear that the Buckland benefit of the benevolent Bucket Brigade Brotherhood for the Bruised and Burned has exclusive rights for the opening. I mean, he had it right up to the end. All right, well, should we go inside the ivy bush and... Oh, wait. Oh, we got these guys out here. We got Hal Hornblower.
Please stay a moment.
He says, Bilbo, eh? Now, folks will tell you any nonsense about what happened to Bilbo at his birthday party. What's the fun in that? It was all smoke and mirrors anyway, if you ask me. The real story is about what happened after, which, as it happens, I know all about. All right, tell us.
Just a moment.
Now, I keep my ears to the ground, I do, and I can tell you with complete confidence that Bilbo went on back to the elves. All right? He always told such stories about them, the likes of which you wouldn't believe. They say that an elf queen has been teaching him to grow the biggest taters a person could ever hope to see. Leave it to Bilbo to go all the way off to the elves to gain knowledge just so he can steal the first price ribbon from Farmer Maggot at one of those farmers' fairs. Now, some folks would just try harder in their own garden plot, but Bilbo just could never do anything the easy way when he could have the adventure instead. I imagine he'll be back any day to wipe that smug smirk off Farmer Maggot and break his 60-year winning streak. Oh my goodness. That's funny. All right, let's see what the
Stay and have some tea.
stable master knows about this. He says, Bilbo Baggins, you're asking about, eh? Most folks think he's off gallivanting goodness knows where, but I've got quite a different story to tell if you listen. I will listen. So, you're wondering what Bilbo's been up to since he disappeared, huh? Well, as it happens, I heard that he's not in some far-off land at all. He's still right here in the Shire. The whole party business was an elaborate ruse to set people talking and rumoring and thinking that he's in some far-off land having more adventures. That was just Bilbo's way of creating a distraction while he crept away to hide in plain sight. Folks say that at night you can sometimes see him clothed in black, face hidden behind a dark mask with an even darker cape, all flapping and flowing behind him, riding along the roads of the Shire. He's turned vigilante, protecting us all from bandits and goblins and anything else nasty trying to creep into our towns. Bilbo's managed to stay out of sight so well due to his hidden hobbit holes all over the Shire. They were built in secret and paid for by his fortune, and he roams between these, never spending too much time in any one spot, always listening and waiting for danger to appear. That sounds like a cool adventure, but I don't think that's what he's up to. All right, I'm going to go inside the ivy bush. And we've got a handful of folks in here that have some things here. Let's see. Is the sheriff? Yeah, he's got one. He says, what's that you're asking about now? Old Mr. Bilbo, you say? Well, certainly I know what happened at his birthday party. Listen up and I'll tell you the true facts of the matter. All right. He says, Bilbo Baggins was something of an eccentric around these parts. His adventures created enough stories that you can still hear new ones every day. Why, I was just recently talking to my niece's cousin's sister-in-law's nephew the other day, and he said that he knew what really happened at that funny birthday party. All the folks in these parts attended it, but what with the food and the drink and the dancing and all the youngsters underfoot, only a few folks really witnessed the actual disappearing act. My niece's sister's cousin, you get the picture. The lad I was talking with, he says that he saw that wizard Gandalf pop old Mr. Bilbo into a giant sack. Just visible through the fog, he said, and Mr. Bilbo squirming and wriggling like anything. Then they just vanished into thin air. That's great. Hereward's got one for us.
Can I take a moment?
He says, "Oh, you're collecting stories about Bilbo Baggins? I know a grand one. Grand of one for you. That fellow's been some places and seen some things. Yes, he most certainly has. All right, what you got?"
How do you do?
He says, "I heard that Bilbo got up to a whole mess of adventures after his party, but you're wondering what he's up to now, yes? Well, I'll tell you that I heard in the end he ran into some of those big folk who ride horses all the time. What they're called, the Riders of Roger? No, nearly there. Tip of my tongue. Rohan, that's it. I hear he's got himself a war pony and that they taught him to be a proper horse master and all. Riders in the company of, what's that feller's name? Therion? That's not it. Hang on, I'll give me a minute. Theoden, that's the chappie. Our Bilbo's right there, riding in that company of big folk with banners streaming and horses whinnying all across those big plains of grass tall enough to hide a hobbit, or so I hear." Okay. Now, let's see. We've got a couple over here. The storyteller. So she says, Bilbo Baggins could single-handedly keep me in business for years to come, the way folks around here swap stories about him. I'll gladly tell you my own personal thoughts on why he disappeared from his birthday party, though. So she says, some around here weren't sure about him, but I miss dear Bilbo. He always had such an air of mystery about him, which is saying something, since the only air most hobbits have about them is one of pipeweed in their last meal. Bilbo was refreshing, he was. Shook us all up some, and that's a good thing, no doubt. We need some rousing out of our usual routine. Not all of us have the constitution to be explorers, so it's a precious commodity indeed when we get a hobbit with some real stories to tell. Anyhow, I hear that Bilbo is getting bored, and can you blame him? So when Gandalf was setting off his lovely fireworks, Bilbo grabbed onto one, and off he went, soared off into the skies in a trail of sparks. Now, shake your head if you like, but I think that Bilbo Baggins could do just nearly anything he put his mind to, and I'm not changing my story. Oh, I'd love to know where he landed and what mischief he's gotten up to since then. I surely do hope he returns home again, or I might just explode in a starburst myself from curiosity. Now, the child listening says, "Excuse me, what's that you're asking about?" "Oh, yes, I have lots of stories about Bilbo. My mum tells them to me some nights when I can't get to sleep." Oops. So she says, "My mum tells me stories about Mr. Bilbo some nights when I can't get to sleep. My favorites are the ones about the lonely mountain with the dragon and the treasure. I'd like a dragon, I think, but only a nice one, not a nasty one. My good dragon would live with me and bring us shiny things to play with, and I'd fly him around in the sky. Dragons are terrible clever, you know, and so mine would tell me stories and teach me things that only dragons know. But, you know, I keep thinking about that poor mountain. Why, it's even called the Lonely Mountain. And that's what that was when it still had a dragon friend of its own. But since Bilbo scared off the dragon, I'll bet that mountain is even lonelier. I feel so bad for it some nights. I just cry into my plush sheep Petunia. But then I thought about the nice Mr. Bilbo, and I'll bet he feels the same way. I bet he went back to that poor mountain to keep it company. If I were him, I'd bring it another dragon, but a nice one this time to keep it company for years and years and years. I'll bet that's just what he did." Cute. All right. So the last ones I have left are Holly Hornblower and then Lotho and Lobelia. Well, Holly is just around the other side of this house. So we'll just have a little run around here. I did not go running through people's gardens. So Holly here says, "What's that? You're wondering where Bilbo is now. Turns out you've asked the right hobbit." Sure. What do you know? She says, "I'll have you know that I have it on excellent authority that on his travels Bilbo met a whomping massive bear. Yes, a proper large bear, not like the little ones that den around these parts. And what did Bilbo do? Now, don't be silly. The bear didn't eat him in one gulp. Imagine the indigestion with all those brass buttons." Now, Bilbo might not be a proper hobbit, but a hobbit still he is, and that means he was carrying any number of delicious things, the like of which that bear had never tasted or smelled before. With those, clever Bilbo tamed that bear. Indeed, he did. And that's not the end. No, not at all. I'm just getting to the best part, if you believe it. Radagast the Brown, you've heard of him, yes? Keeper of animals, they say, and proper wizard in his own right. Well, Radagast heard about Bilbo and the bear, and he was so impressed that he trained old Bilbo to be a lore master. Neither jesting nor joking am I. That's right. The first hobbit lore master is our Bilbo, and he rides around now on his great bear, accompanying Radagast all over the lands. That's a good one. Yes, as B4 says, an in-game justification for hobbit lore masters. See, it's been there the whole time. It was like it was waiting for us. It's right there. So, you know, I'm appreciative. I do have Hobbit lore masters, but I don't play them very often because I'm mostly busy with my hunters. So, yeah. But I do have a Hobbit lore master. Honestly, I just like playing lore master because I like collecting all the pets that they can get. What am I doing here? Here we go. But the gameplay I haven't really buckled down on, so that's okay. All right, you two. So, all right, let's check in with Lobelia. What does she say? She says, "Oh, all anyone talks about around here is Bilbo Baggins. But as it happens, yes, I do know quite a juicy bit of information that I don't mind sharing with a person such as yourself." All right. She says, "Listen up now, and you might learn something worth knowing. Earlier that day, the day of the party that is, I'll have you know that I saw Bilbo sampling a good many of Holly Hornblower's pies. They always look delectable, but I swear she uses secret ingredients that would put off even the staunchest eater. Not that I'm jealous, mind. My pies always come in second, and I have an easy mind knowing that they are made of only the finest fruits, not any new nonsense I hear tell of, not like some people I know of, and if that's good enough for me, well, pardon me, what was I saying? Right, Mr. Bilbo. As I was saying, I've heard that Holly was experimenting with sneaking in ground up mushrooms pinched from Farmer Maggot's field. If you listen to the young fry around these parts who've snuck into his field and eaten some, you know they have some awful queer effects. So, if you want to know what I think, and you clearly do as you're asking me, well, I think eating those pies up and disappeared. Oh, eating those pies up and disappeared, Bilbo. Good thing that old Gandalf was around to cover it up with a poof of smoke and save us all the scandal. Although some might think that there could have been an important lesson to be learned had he not. Okay. All right, Lotho, what do you got? He says, "Oh, you're wondering what Mad Baggins has been up to? Ha! He was all cleverness and no sense, if you ask me. I know a right amusing story of what mischief he's gotten himself into. I surely do." I feel like he might be talking his own mischief, but we'll find out. He says, "Well, now, last I heard is that old Baggins had completely squandered his fortune, although I never myself believed it was half as big as folks said, so it wouldn't be that hard to lose it now, would it? But as I was saying, with his fortune gone, I hear he went to one of the big folk towns and got himself the finest fake beard that the remainder of his money could buy. Now, don't start laughing yet. You ain't heard the rest of it. And you remember what I said about him being too clever without much sense? Well, fake beard obtained, he went to live with the dwarves. Yes, the dwarves. Snuck right in there with them in their caves and their digging. Dwarves aren't too smart from what I heard, and those caves got to be mighty shadowy and smoky from the torches, don't you think? Figure with his beard he can hide and work right alongside them, all the while slowly building up a new fortune of pocketed gems and fine metals. I'll bet he'll be back again, lording his adventures and supposed fortune over us all once more." Goodness. All right, so that finishes the deed, which is listen to all 12 of the Hobbit stories about Bilbo Baggins' adventures. Funny. All right, so I got the deed and the title chronicler, but I got honorary sheriff. I might just go ahead and leave that for now. Oh, and then deed completed. There it is. Baggins Birthday. So, chronicler. Okay, now we do have a task here, though, to return to the gaffer. So, we gotta roll down the hill. Oops. I have a tendency to go around the hedges because I'm not as great with jumping. All right. So he says, "You managed to speak to all the hobbits on my list then. Wonderful. If that's given you what you need, off with you then. Time to take those stories to their final recipient." Oh, but he has something else. He says, "I imagine those stories have someone waiting for them. Off you go now." So he's going to give us a quest to go speak to Bilbo. All right, so we got to go back to Rivendell. I was going to use my one of my papers that I bought, one of my travel skills. Wish I could withdraw just one of them. That would be easier, but... Oh, wait. Oh, well, no worries. Oh, okay. I was going to do the thing with the monkey. There we go. All right, so yeah, so it pops you in the front door here. So if you had other business in Rivendell, you know, that might not be the most convenient. I don't know. Like I do. On the other hand, I mean, I'm in the last homely house, which half the time that's where you're going, I think, really, to go see, to go talk to Elrond. All right, now I'm just running through all the... Oh, wait, I'm going to Bilbo. He's in the Hall of Fire. He's down below here. Oh yeah, that's another one of the milestone emotes where you bend down and put a banner down. All right, so Baggins' birthday, Bilbo's present.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Hang on, let me get a drink here real quick. Plus, I think Shieldbox on their way in. Yep. Says, "Why, hello, Venkel. Many salutations, I'm sure. And what has brought you here to me on this fine day?" So we tell him the stories we've collected. So he's like, "Stories from the Shire, and all of them about me. I can't wait to hear them. Please tell me your tales." So then he's going to react based on the stories that we just heard, with something like, "Lady Galadriel is teaching me techniques for growing the biggest tater the Shire's ever seen. I suspect she's got more pressing issues." And then followed with me and a fake beard living with dwarves and stealing their scraps. Oh my goodness and gracious. Yeah. Oh yeah, it does show up in the area chat. So lovely, soaring off through the sky with sparks streaming behind, delightfully imaginative indeed. And that's to be followed by a one-act play where there's smog, there's fire. I may just have to put my pen to paper in honor of such a fine rumor. So he has, a number of things he might say based on just having gone to do this. He just comments on 2 of them, which is fun. And then you can complete the quest with him. It says, "Oh dear, oh dear." He says, oh dear, oh my, they are even better than I thought. The imagination of hobbits truly knows no bounds. The Lonely Mountain, Holly Hornblower's pies, a caped crusader even? Oh, gracious and goodness me. You have made this old hobbit very happy and brought me belly laughs such as I have not known for a while. Elves, for all of their charms, have a more esoteric form of humor, and I've missed the stories that hobbits tell. Take this with my thanks. Clearly you have a knack for recording and telling stories. I hope that you keep that up during your adventures, as I sense you'll have a great many stories to tell." So he gives us a scribe's book stand, which is a housing item, and then I'm going to get some legendary item experience as well. So there we go. Dun, dun, dun. And so yeah, so this guy's obviously doing it as well. The dwarf tunnels below Bag End. Yes, roaming the Shire at night. Yeah, some good stuff. I think the quest he has for me is, yeah, Goblin Town stuff. I don't need to do Goblin Town stuff. That's good. Okay, so, well, we did the outfitting stuff that I wanted to accomplish, and we've done the Bilbo's birthday, or the Baggins' birthday stuff. Funny thing is, it's Baggins' birthday, and we start with Frodo, and he's like, "Hey, can you go do stuff for my uncle?" So we do, we gather stories about Bilbo, and then we come back and we talk about. It's like everything else, it's very Bilbo focused. So, it makes me wonder, like, why don't we get to do something for Frodo? Like, that would be fun. I hope that maybe someday in the future they'll add some Frodo birthday stuff as well. Like, maybe we have to go and gather ingredients and bake him a cake or something. I mean, that would be kind of fun. So anyway, okay, so those were the things that I had intended for us to accomplish. We've accomplished those, and we still have like 40 minutes of stream. Sure. Yeah, what do you want to do? Oh, hey, it's a chair, an interactable chair. Look at that. Look at that hobbit sitting in that chair. That's what we're going to do for the last 40 minutes. We're just going to sit in chairs. What about this chair? What about this chair? All right, what about these benches then? Jump, hobbit. There we go. Nope. This one's normal. Just like sitting on the floor. Too heavy for you to move. Yeah, maybe that's it. With that fine elven wrought iron stuff. Yeah. So you see, yeah, that's the hobbit females sitting. You kind of sit with your legs out to the side. So, and then the male sitting is like this with your legs out in front of you. All right, so yeah, you're gonna lie down on the bench. That's funny. We're just gonna run around and emote with everything in the house. I'm sure all around doesn't mind. There you go. Just lay down. That's funny. What about sleep? Do you have the sleep emote? Isn't that an emote? Let me double check that. I know there's something about sleep or... Oh, not no. Maybe it's Z? No. Although there is a jazz hands emote. There's the one that you get from that 3-person instance. Yeah. Dream. That's why I was thinking about the Z's. Oh, but you don't lay... Oh, there you go. Then you do lay down. Yeah. So you could do... Oh, but I don't have it, so never mind. Anyway. All right. Yeah, so what are we going to do? What you want to do? Run around Mordor? Okay. I guess. My milestone has cooled down, so I can get there. The Udon foothold hold. To the ruins of Dingarth. Do I have that? I have Ruins of Dingarth. I do. All right. Sure. Me and my monkey will be right there. So we're in a very different place in Mordor than we were at the moments earlier, because we are... Earlier we were... yeah, up by the door, Kirith Gorgor, that place up there. That's the foothold there, and we are now further in here by the Eisenmouth. So we're gonna run through some areas in this place. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is where the Mordor takes you to when you use that when you use that housing item. I think it brings you to this camp. Because I remember coming and looking to the Figments of Splendor person here to get the
dark tidings.
to get the floor is lava item in the past. So it was a while ago though. Nonsense, I haven't seen any doors. Okay, so we're gonna ride to somewhere. To the ruins of Dingarth. That's where we are. Alright. Well, I'm following you because I don't know what... We've got a quest. Let me pull up my quest log. So, which one are we looking at? Oh, Black Book of Mordor?
No, just Aigos. Under Dor Amma.
Mordor, Dor Amarth.
Maybe
Or
quick
Amarth.
history to refresh your memory.
Okay, so we have a corrupted idol that we need to bring to somebody. Where's the show history? Oh, down here. Okay, so if I click on show history, it's going to give me a little bit more context if maybe I haven't looked at this quest recently, which could be quite possible. So the bestowal dialogue was you spoke to one of these devoted of the order. Yes, perhaps we should find out why they are pursuing this mighty spear of the elves. We cannot let Aiglos fall into their hands. None but Gilgalad would be worthy to hold the spear. It is said that Aiglos can be touched by few, for the spear's power is great. Okay, and so then we had to assess if it was retrievable. And we needed to go talk to some wounded people from the Order of the Eye. There's a high priest involved. And so now we're going to... Let's see. It says, Aiglos can be found near Dor Amarth. You should bring the corrupted idol you found to Aiglos. Okay. So we found a corrupted idol, and we're taking it to the sword. All right. And then try to retrieve it if possible. So we're going through this wasteland. So, you know, spoiler territory. This is after Sam and Frodo took care of their task. Surely I, a hobbit, could hold the great spear, Aeglos of Gilgalad. Yeah, I'm gonna guess a no. Maybe we can put it in our pocket, though. Hobbits have big pockets, you know. I mean, how else are we going to carry all these breakfasts and things? Now, we're at level 115 and 114. So things in the area are 109. Let's see, what else we got around here? Yeah, so they're like within 10 of us, but we are on the upper end of the stuff that's here. Like that guy, okay, that guy's level 1, that doesn't count. He's like a rabbit. He's a Mordor rabbit. But the fire is bad. Don't go in the fire. Yes, other than all the evils, says Shieldbach, it's quite peaceful here. I mean, to be fair, it is kind of quiet, you know. If it wasn't so, yeah, evil, it might be all right. And also, I don't think you can grow very big taters here. So, less than ideal in that regard. Not going to win the greatest, the largest tater thing title from the gaffer. So that's like 108. So they're still green. You notice that the enemies nearby are still like green, but we're bigger than them, so we have a possibility of doing okay against them. Depending on how well we know how to play our classes. Yes, Gogosi, very big pockets. Agreed. I mean, if you think about how often the hobbits are eaten and, you know, how much they got to carry around with them in order to do that, if they go on, maybe that's why hobbits just don't go on adventures. Because, man, you'd have to pack a lot. Now, if you planned it out right, you could go on an adventure and just make sure that you're stopping at inns along the way, and then you'd probably be all right. So that's why maybe the one in the Lone Lands, what is it, the Forsaken Inn? Maybe that's why, maybe the hobbits called it that, because there just wasn't, you know, the food wasn't great. And because, you know, there wasn't any other inns nearby. So, and they'd be sad. Oh, there's another person running by. Anyway. Oh, and then there's lava by here, by the way. So you definitely have to be careful because, yeah, these little tendrils of lava, you have to get over them. So there's bridges, thankfully. But stepping in the lava is bad for your health. So don't do that. Like, I'm following you and you're like walking towards the lava. Yeah, it's that down there. Grand Canyon of lava. Don't go there. You don't want to do that.
Ruins of Barad-dûr in front of us.
Oh, ruins of Barad-dûr in front of us. So we're going to avoid that and go elsewhere. Near some lava. We were just talking about this. Yeah, that's true. It is a little finger on the map that's not looking lava-esque. So, fair enough. Oh yeah, the combat music has picked up something sauce. Oh, thanks for the hope. Cool. Are we dealing with these people?
Specifically, but no.
Oh, okay.
They just
They're in our way, so yeah, that's true. I don't have it on my map. Where are we trying to go? Oh yeah, it's just north of us here. The idol disintegrates in your hands as you hold it up to the glow of Aeglos. Okay. Hey, wounded devoted.
Heed me.
Says, you cannot be, it cannot be. You held the sacred idol of our sect up to the spear, and now it is gone. Why would Sauron keep such an object of destruction when we could never use it? You tell the devoted member of the order to share what they have seen today. No more shall we worship such a horrible object. I feel sickened being near it. If only I had the strength to slay you, Hobbit. Okay. Where is the spear?
I mean, conceptually, it's up here. You can see the glow of it if you look at it.
Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's a bit of like a Eric's stone. Stone of Eric.
Just go touch it.
Go touch it. I don't think I can get up there.
That's fine.
So, but I can get onto this rock and look at it. Yep, it's all glowy.
I'm sure that's not deadly radiation.
Deadly radiation.
Sure it's
Maybe.
not.
All right. I saw Legolas. Where'd he go? There he is. Are you? I'll come stand over here by Legolas and watch you trying to climb up there. Oh, okay.
I am not sure
Well, he says, I'm
we
not sure
should
if we
scale
should
the
scale the
spire
spire either. I've been thinking about it, and I would like to speak with Hithgol. Let us return to him and hear his thoughts on the matter. I know we have come all this way, but you must trust me as I have trusted you many times. Now, let us depart. Okay. So, yeah. I think we're just going to let the scary spear be up there. So now we got to go back.
How's your return to Udun?
Well, everything takes an hour.
How's your return to Udun?
But Udin, I could do.
Let's do it.
Okay. Der Effenbush comes on and says, "Good evening, hobbits." Oh, yeah. A question: where did you get the smile in your buttons from? It looks lovely. Oh, that is a UI thing that I got called JRR Skins Collection. Oh, hang on. I gotta travel to some place called the Ruins of Dingarth. Okay.
Oh, ruins will apply to everything here.
I know everything's a ruin. That's what I was right. So, oh yes, Kokosi says a tourist trip in Mordor with before. Yes, I know, right? Like, there's times I'm like, hey, let's go somewhere, and this isn't what I think of when I'm like, let's go somewhere interesting. Oh, Sneaky says hi, everyone. Hi, hello. Anyway, let me talk about this UI real quick. Excuse me. Once you go to LOTRO interface and you find it and you download it, and actually the files have gotten bigger, so they're located at another place now, but you start there and there's a link to take you to the right place.
Coffee.
Right, at the coffee thing. And you don't, it's still donation only though, so like you can still download these for free. Anyway, so the JR Skins collection, if you go, then once you have it, go to your UI settings, and then you scroll down about 2/3 of the way down, and under miscellaneous, the very first thing is current user skin. If you don't have any, you'll click on it, it'll just say none, and that's the only thing that'll be there. But once you've downloaded this collection, it's a huge collection. There's so many options. And you can just scroll through here. And there's a lot of examples, images on LOTRO interface, and then also at the Ko-fi site. So you can kind of like, look ahead to see if there's things that you like. This is the Delving Hills, which is kind of Hobbit-y themed. I use this one quite a lot for the Delving Hills. Let's see, this is Delving Hills 1. I also use Delving Hills 2. And then there's an elf one called, let me find it, see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah, Spirit of Elfwood, I think, is another one that I enjoy using, and it has like a lot of vines and greenery and that sort of thing, so that one's kind of fun. Oh yeah, and as before points out, you need to exit LOTRO completely and then come back in for the skins to show up. So yeah, you'll download it, and then once you come into LOTRO after that, they'll be available for you there. Another thing is, by default, the skins come with a reduced size map, because the idea is that way you can have the map up and also be, riding on landscape or doing things and interacting, and so forth, while having the map up at the same time. I prefer generally to have the full screen map, because I don't do a lot of map and interacting, and honestly, I prefer to have it as a larger map when I'm streaming, because then it's easier for all of you to be able to see things, as opposed to on this reduced size map. It's a little harder on stream to see the details. So there's information on LOTRO interface, where you go to find the information on. If you scroll down into the instructions, there's a spot where it's like, you take out a certain set of code, and it tells you what to do and how to find this. So you don't have to be like a programmer to know this. And you could just delete a couple of lines out of there, and then you've got the full screen map. So if you ever want to put it back, you could go back and copy and paste and put that back in. So yeah, there's some flexibility there as well. Another fun thing I really love about having the JRR skins is that it comes with a larger wardrobe preview. I think my mouse is. I got a cat hair in there. So if you are looking at your wardrobe and you're doing previews, so for example, like this, notice how the dressing room, this wardrobe preview, is much bigger than the in-game default. So I can always tell when I've somehow missed getting a UI skin set to one of my characters, because I'll go to do a preview and it's teeny tiny. So I really like also the larger dressing room, because I find that really handy for me. So yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, before it says, oh fun, it took me a moment to realize that der Erfenbusch is the German name for the ivy bush. The Erfenbusch says, yeah, that's me. That's so good. I don't know what it turned, if they changed the name in the Dutch version. I'm sure they must have. I know, let's see. Oh, no, I'm trying to remember. I think Sam was like Geweses or something like that.
Which one of these is it?
I know, right? We're like looking at the books behind me. Well, here's Lord of the Rings. This is,
Well,
yeah.
it's okay.
We have the Hobbit on the bottom. we have been collecting the books in Dutch because we live in the Netherlands, and our theoretical concept is that maybe by reading the books in Dutch, we might remember some words better. And I do recall that some of the names I did. I don't remember anymore. Oh well. I do remember, though, reading that it was the Dutch version is one of the earliest translations of Lord of the Rings. And was it Lord of the Rings? It must have been Lord of the Rings. And Tolkien was not happy about it because they made a lot of changes. And he's like, I don't think you get what I'm trying to do here. It's that kind of frustration. So he was much more involved in translations going forward. And I thought that's funny. So anyway, okay. So we're talking to this guy. He says, Legolas has spoken to me, explained why we must not retrieve the spear of Aegolas from atop the spire it rests on in Dor Amarth. Although it pains me not to remove the sacred weapon of the elves from Mordor, I must agree with him. Aegolas has given hope to those of elves and others in this company. The spear has become a beacon in Mordor, a banner planted to show all those that the time of darkness in Mordor is at a close. The light of Aegolas will show the way for us and strike fear in those who believe they can lay claim to the plains of Gorgoroth. Perhaps one day we will be able to construct a monument to Gil-galad and to all the elves who fought valiantly against Sauron here in Dor Amarth, where Aeglos lies. Well, nice. And then we can pick a piece of jewelry, braceleting, that probably is not relevant in terms of what I need. So I think I'll just pick one and put it in my inventory. Yeah, the Bush says, I remember Tolkien letting translate most of the Hobbit names, even locations, because he wanted them for the readers to feel like home. Yeah, but I think the translations that they did with the Dutch one, he felt like didn't, because, you know, he was such a wordsmith and a language smith, right? Like he was very much involved with, you know, having references or, you know, like this was more like Old Gaelic, this is more like Old English, this is more like Finnish, you know, like he had reasons for the types of names that he chose. And there were some, I think, translations with the Dutch version that annoyed him because it didn't keep some of that, like Sam is working class and the Baggins are, you know, the aristocracy basically, or the landed gentry, whatever. And anyway, so yeah, so there's something in that realm, I think, that didn't match up, and so I think Tolkien was much more involved with making sure that yes, translating them so they made sense. Like in we've talked about this before, and I have like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Ford Prefect was okay. So Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is British book series, and Ford Prefect was the a name of a car that was like your everyday car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's very common card.
a common car in the UK, but you read that as an American in, you know, the 80s or whatever, and it doesn't necessarily have that same context to it. Yeah, so it would have been like a Ford Focus or something. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's name was Ford Focus, you'd be like, wait, what? Then it would click. So yeah, so making sure you get that same thing in translations, right, was I think something that may not have come together in the way that Tolkien wanted it to in the Dutch version, and did more so in future translations, I believe. So in Dutch, het klimmelbosje. Oh, is that the ivy bush? Yeah, okay. So, oh yeah, so back to the, yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide. So if it had been localized better in the U.S., like Ford Taurus or something like that, instead of Ford Prefect. Yeah, the localization of Ford Prefect is Amro Bank. Yeah. Reading the Dutch version. That's funny. And what's the one where the guy named himself after like the brand in the bedpan? The wherever you go, here you are. Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, my brain. Oh well, it's okay. Anyway, all right. So we've talked to this guy. Do we need to like talk to somebody else? Is there somebody else we can talk to? I mean, somebody's got a ring over here, but they don't seem to be ringing.
That was one of the last things here.
Okay.
So you'll
I'm
have
like,
this in your deed log in game.
what are we looking at here? Sorry. Gotta see what Legolas is looking at. I don't know. Hi. Okay, so if I go to my deed log, okay, and oh, wait, Mordor, okay, Gorgoroth, okay, Tales of Gorgoroth. I have 4 of 8 completed. So, oh, I see. This tracks the capstone quest lines of, of each of the regions, and then when you're done with that, you get some stuff. I see. Complete the Dor Amarth quest Iglos. That was one of them. So 2 for Udon, 2 for Dor Amarth. So we have, and then we have Black Book of Mordor. Complete the Lingris quest, Eyes in the Dark. Complete the Talith Uri quest, Under the Fires of Oriduin. And complete the Agronarth quest, Secrets of the Saragost. And then we also have some exploration deeds to do over here. Well, sure. Do you want to go do explore?
Yeah.
Actually, I
know them
don't
better
need
if
to
you wanna write over there.
quest here. Hmm? Okie dokie. Where are we?
We're approaching the southeast end of Udon.
Oh. Is this the black gate? This is the big black gate, right?
The Eisen.
Oh, this is the Eisenmouth. Does that mean there's a river nearby? No.
I don't know. I don't understand that name.
Feel like there should be an Eisen. You know? Just has that feeling to it.
Maybe it was upon a time.
Fair enough. Maybe there was a river here once upon a time. Not anymore. So, Banukoze asks, is this game crowded or low population? Can you write here? I can't hear. Oh. Alright. SSG just opened 64-bit servers, and everyone consolidated to fewer numbers of servers, so it is more populated than before. Well, goodness, we have all sorts of fun happening here. Let me turn that down a little bit. Wait, Archer. Nobody asked you. Alright, there we go. B4 points out there are currently 400-ish non-anonymous players currently online on this server. And this is one of the role-playing encouraged servers. So I don't know if it's true, but I feel like the RP servers would have like fewer people than the the regular questing style servers, you know. This is Peregrine. Oh, here, I'll follow you. And yes, the question was, what server are we on and what class is the healer? So B4 has replied about Minstrel being the healer. And man, these guys are gray to me, so they must be seeing you. I am, it's true. I assume I'm not turtled. Oh no, because I had another pocket item earlier, that's right. That would be great. I assume we don't necessarily want to... Well, I guess we do. I was trying to avoid the O-log. We don't need to talk to him, do we? Oh yeah, you can res. Because I'm a healer person. Oh, I should be able to heal you. Hey, let me do some of that action. I don't play healer very often. Cool. Yay. Yeah, they sure likes hobbits. They do. Too much.
Go on chest.
Oh, this just. Sure.
Oh, that's right. Put on my cape. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Aw. Um. Oops. So there was a question about, do you have to pay to play like a healer and stuff like that? So I was pointing out that many of the classes are free to play in LOTRO. There's a few. I think like Bjorning might be.
Runekeeper.
Hmm.
Runekeeper might be gated.
You think Runekeeper?
I don't know. Once upon a time.
Yeah, I think once upon a time, but I don't think it is now. I think the newer ones, so like Mariner, maybe. Trying to think of what else is new. I think is Bjorny. Oh, Brawler. Thank you, Sneakies. Brawler's probably one you need to pay for. Do we need to talk to this guy? Okay. I will just, sing songs to him. Oh, he didn't like my songs. There's a treasure cache back here.
What?
Who'd have thunk it? It's almost like somebody knew it was here. Yeah, so which ones are pay for right now? So Brawler, Mariner, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. So, I'll mention though the LOTRO wiki has a lot of great information. Just because the LOTRO wiki is just like chock full of so much of this information. And so I'm sure there's a list there of what's which classes are free to play and which ones you still have to purchase at this point. I mean, because they release them as free to play after a while, generally, anyway. So I mean, eventually, if you're like super excited about something, you probably get a chance to play it later. Just maybe not right away, unless you are willing to purchase it. Like B4 and I tend to go ahead and get the expansions when they come out, because we don't do a lot of we don't go to the movies really much. It's not really my thing, and so that's money we're not spending. We don't go to the bars. That's money we're not spending, that other people might be spending as as part of their.
That's part of their entertainment budget.
Right, yeah, as part of their entertainment budget. So really our entertainment budget is and social budget, however you want to look at that, expendable income, things you do that, for quality of life. For us, that's things like board games, video games, LOTRO specifically. Yeah, so we're able to do that sort of thing when the new expansions come out. So very, very lucky to be in that sort of financial position. Oh, did you do a thing or did I do a thing?
It might have been me.
That's cool.
I don't recognize that, so.
I don't know. I do appreciate that they changed that. When there's an area of effect in active, there used to be it would be drawn out on the ground, but it was really hard to see. And now it's like 3D like that and sparkly and I love it. It's great. Yeah. Okay, Sneakies asks, is that code still active for the free X packs? Yes. Oopsie. Hang on, shield box down. Maybe before I can remember that code for that thing while I take these guys out. Oh shit, I'm almost done too. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm down too. Um, I could revive for free.
Go for it.
Okay. And then I'll just revive you over here. Oh, thank you. Yes, explore our world. That is available. I got what skill does it look like?
The one next to your red loot.
Revives a defeated target. Okay, cool. I really don't play Minstrel very often. Yeah, so explore our world. It's good till November 3rd. And so you go into the LOTRO store. I'll show you real quick if there's time. Before we get attacked again. And you copy and paste it into, oh, you can't see it's behind my face here, hang on. You copy and paste the code and put it here at the bottom where it says redeem code, and then hit the little present button, and then poof, it'll show up in your account. In fact, it does it like, yeah, I'll just follow you for a second, but don't get into combat just yet unless it's, oh yeah, Sneaky says make sure it's all caps. That's why I suggest you just go ahead and like copy and paste it, because then you never have to like worry about did I get it wrong or right or whatever. All right, I better attack things here. I'll do if I see what I can. I feel like this is a higher level or something.
It's much easier.
Okay, you know, I'm just gonna skip out of there. But basically, once you've redeemed it, it should show up in your transaction stuff, and it's like this huge list. It's crazy. Oh. Oh, are we running? I was just moving back because they were hitting me, and I was trying to do that. Like, I don't want to be standing right next to somebody hitting me.
No, I forgot it's the higher level area.
Well, let's not go in there.
It's doable. It's a 115 minutes roll. We don't have to.
I don't want to.
I feel like we should just switch.
We'll just pass keyboards back and forth. He can play the minstrel, and I'll play the other one.
We'll do a little bit.
We'll come back for that. And actually, we could do one more, and then we can call. We'll swap over to you.
Well, there's an exploration by Unlock that we can do.
Okay.
At least one.
So I usually stream on Tuesdays for about 2 hours, starting at 11:30 server time, which was almost 2 hours ago. I just realized I'm like under the effect of something, but I don't think it's hurting me too much. And then after me, before streams for a couple of hours, and his show is called Plugging Along, and he goes over LOTRO plugins, and will often do live plugin development during his stream. So when I'm done streaming here, stick around, because before we'll be doing some we'll be doing some streaming also. Probably not to playing a Guardian, as he's saying, goodness, I do not remember how to play Guardian. Yeah, you were really good at it for a while too, because like we were doing like dungeons and stuff, and you were like, bam, I got all the aggro.
Tank is one thing, but it's
Yeah.
the red line, and I don't know.
Oh, because you were tanking really good then. Yeah, it's true. If you're tanking, you're expecting me to do all the DPS, and I kind of know how to play a minstrel, but you know, not prolifically. Ah, we've discovered a vantage point. Yeah, you can see a lot from here. Mm. Wow. All right, so not fall in. Sneakies is saying I should check my traceries. Here, we're gonna watch Shieldbach hopefully not fall down. There we go. Can I pick up Scar? Nope.
Yeah, I think we actually do want to go down, just not, die.
Okay. All right. That seemed to work all right. It's around 115 mark. You redo them, is it? Let's see.
116, we could go up. Spend some of those.
Oh, yes, I could do some of that. I don't think I have the mental energy to deal with that right now. Because I need to figure out where all the little tracery doodles are. So what I'm talking about is when you go to the word hoard. You know what? I'll show you that after we're done. I'll go to the word hoard for a couple minutes. Because we're almost at the next thing, right?
Somewhere around. Yeah, I think there's something to this.
Hey, I discovered a great work forge, 7 of 16.
There we go.
Oh, and a slug heaver. Slag heaver. I mean, maybe he heaves slugs too, I don't know. Well, when you're ready to get out of here, or is there something else we're just still discovering here?
There's something else nearby, but we
Oh,
can
okay.
get to. But if you want to just follow where we're going,
Well, I'm going to go to the word horde while you're getting ready.
let's go stand in front of each of the forges.
Okay. We're going to go stand in front of some forges and see what they look like. Oh, they still see you. You need to level up.
That work in progress.
Hey, I've discovered a forging furnish. Wow, you were good at that. That went good.
Much easier when they're not elites.
That's fair, yeah. He was saying it's much easier when they're not elites. Do we need to check out this furnace too? I think we do, right? Hey, 11 of 15. Okay. I feel like we did this with our mains, right? We ran on and looked all these furnaces. Yeah. Yeah, this is very familiar.
That's good. That's good enough for now.
Okay. So, are you going to head off to home or something?
Getting dark or something, yeah.
Okay. I will head to the word horde. Awesome. Thank you. To the tracery archive. Me and my monkey. We're getting out of here. They are very certain we know how to go. That's good, because this place can be a maze. Okay, so when you are buying stuff for your legendary items, because I know this can be confusing to people, so let's see if we can make this as straightforward as possible. So your legendary items, you have 2, generally. I think there's still some classes that have different numbers that are not 2, but most people have 2. So if I pull out the information here, you have 4 categories. So you've got like this heraldry thing that everybody has that, and everybody can buy them. So like heraldry of the eagle, I could have on any of my characters. That's not class specific. Okay. Then you've got what's this one called? The socket is called Word of Power. So the one on top is the heraldic. So it's your heraldry thing, heraldic. And then the second one is Word of Power. So this is again a category that everybody has access to. So like this area effect attack damage. You could buy that for your minstrel. You could buy that for your lore master. Like it's those are available to all classes as well. And then I'm going to skip down to the bottom here. Word of Craft. I have an empty spot. Yikes. The Word of Craft is, in my case, these last 2 slots. You start off with one of them. And that is also a category where everybody has access to the same collection of options that you can buy to put in there. So in this case, I have a Ascendant Light in that spot, and then I have an empty spot where I need to put something in there. Okay, and then everything in between there, all these other things here that you're looking at, those are class specific. So I have to put, and these are called Word of Mastery, because it's your mastery over your class. So in this category, I have to put minstrel items. Okay, so just to so kind of have an idea of what that's all about. So when you are coming in, so you come in from this door over here, the first part of the library you walk into is the class-specific room. So all of these bookcases in here are for each specific class. So when you're looking for your stuff, you're going to come into this first room. The second room, the smaller room, is where you find those ones that belong to everybody. So here's like your Word of Power things, here's your Word of Craft, and here's your heraldry stuff. When you are looking, so for example, Well, let me go back. I don't know why I closed that. I need to keep this open. I'm going to skip over the blank spot and not deal with that at the moment. But I have this minor ballad damage that I need to replace because you see it's turned red, which means it's no longer working for me. And I'll explain why here in a second. So let me go over to the Minstrel bookcase, which is up there. So it says Minstrel Traceries. So these are just the ones that are specific to minstrels. If I come here with my hunter, they're going to say, no thanks, you can't buy any of this. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. They're grouped by level, first of all. So you got level 50, and then it jumps to level 86, and then 101, 106, 116, which is why Sneakies was like, hey, you should go take a look. Oops. And then after 116, it goes to 121. Stop, my stupid mouse. And then to 131, and then 141. So after a while, they started making it be jumps of 10, but early on, they were larger jumps. Anyway, they just are. There's reasons, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so when you are buying one of these traceries to go onto your legendary item, you want to pick something that's going to be the highest that you can get. So my character, I just went to level 116, so now I can do level 116 traceries. So boom, that's where I want to start. When you're looking at them, they have a level. So like this one says minimum level 116, maximum level 130. Oh yeah, Sneaky says reforge first. I probably should do that. I'll do that here in a second. So that's what happened to this one that went red. It was a minimum level 101, maximum level 115. So what probably happened is I bought it when I was 101, and then I was able to use it for a while, but now I'm over 115 and 116. So I can no longer use that specific tracery, so I got to replace it. When you're looking at the traceries themselves, so here we have a Call of the Second Age damage, just as an example. You'll notice that it's repeated 4 times. So it's here in like a dark gold color. Then it's also in blue or cyan. It's also in purple. And then it's also in yellow. That's because those are the 4 flavors, 4 levels that you can get them in. And the yellow is the worst. That's the bottom. You don't even want those. Like if you get yellow, just pretend like you don't even have that. It's not worth your time. Purple is the second worst. But you can buy it with just straight up currency. Just straight up ancient script. So like if I want to get a replacement for my minor ballad damage, I've got it right here. I can just buy this thing. In fact, I'll just do that just to show y'all. So I can buy this and I'm like, cool, I'm going to pop this over here and replace this. And it's saying the existing tracery that's there is going to be destroyed. Are you good with that? In this case, yes, I am. What did I do wrong here? It's saying no bueno. It's not sparkly. Usually when you drag something over, it sparkles. What did I... Hang on. It's... Oh, you know what? I didn't reforge. Let me do the reforge real quick. Maybe that's a problem. Okay, so reforge. Yeah, thank you. And reforge. Okay, because the slots maybe have needed to upgrade. Maybe that could have been the problem. Okay, so now I should be able to drag this little darling over. No, it's... Well, maybe I can't drag.
Close and reopen the window.
Oh, right. Let's start over there. Okay. And there we go. Now I should be able... Oh, come on. You don't have any valid items to use it on. Why? Oh, yeah, there we go. Now it's sparkling. Usually it sparkles to show you where you're allowed to put it. Boom. Now, I could have used a little thing that would allow me to take out the old tracery so I could disenchant it for ancient script. But as you saw, I have plenty of ancient script. That's not something I'm worried about. Okay, so I went ahead and bought that bobble, that jobby there, the minor ballad damage. And I went ahead and just bought the purple one because that was the next thing. Oh, let me go back up to my 116 general damage. Okay. So we've got minor ballad damage. Let me scroll. So that's the top part. So we've got the 4 different versions. So gold, cyan or blue, purple, and yellow. Those 4 right there. Now, I didn't buy the yellow one because, like I said, yellow's trash. Don't even just disenchant that. You don't want that. And you'll even see if you hover over it at the bottom, it just says it disenchants into 20 ancient script. That's how you know it's the worst one, because it's only 20. The purple one, if you have a spare one just laying around and you want to just trash it, it will disenchant into 40 ancient script. The one above that, the blue one, the cyan, that one disenchants into 60 ancient script. So we know we're getting better. The problem with these are not only do you need the ancient script to buy it, but you also need these shattered traceries. And in this case, this particular level would like me to have a shattered ironfold tracery. On my characters, somewhere there's probably one of these. So that's why I'm not dealing with this right now, because I gotta go find which character's holding all these in their inventory and then get it over here to Venkel and deal with that. And I'm not dealing with that right now. But just to let you know, that is worth doing, because when you go up a level, you go ahead and you buy that stuff like as soon as you can, and then you've got it until you hit the maximum that it can go to. So it's worth getting the best that you can. And the best that you can get is this gold version, because if you hover over that, you'll see it disenchants into 80 ancient script. If you've got one of those, that's the best. That's the one you want to find a way to use it, because it's good. That's the best you can get. And those, it'll cost you some ancient script again, and then it will also cost you the cracked tracery. In this case, the level I'm working on here is cracked ironfold tracery. So the one below it was a shattered ironfold tracery. This one is a cracked ironfold tracery. So you have to have one of those cracked or shattered traceries along with the ancient script in order to be able to purchase this. I can't just give them a bunch of ancient script and they'll call it good. Now they want this other token to go with it as well. And you can get those tokens, those traceries, the shattered and the cracked, from various places. Quests. There's quests that will get it to you. The legendary item reward track. I believe they have in here sometimes. Let me go to the end. It's going to be one of the later ones. Let's see. It's some deeds. Oh, I guess there are a couple deeds that have it. But also festivals, some dungeons, but the festivals. The festival wrappers, usually if you do the whole wrapper all the way through to the end, the final thing they give you is one of these gold traceries, and it's not specific to a level. So when you open it, it will be then the level of the character that opens it. So this 115, these are called Ironfold. If I were to look at like the level 50 ones, those are Khazad-dûm, so cracked Khazad-dûm and shattered Khazad-dûm level. The 86 are called Rohirrim level, so cracked Rohirrim and shattered Rohirrim. So those are so that's how you know, okay, that's what you need. There's cracked Gondorian and shattered Gondorian. So they have different names for each of those different levels. So don't open that gold tracery token unless you're on the character or that you want to use it on, or another character of the same level. I just just open it on the character you want to use it on, really, just so you don't make any mistakes. So anyway, so I just wanted to kind of show that, so y'all kind of have, because I know the legendary item situation, the whole how to use it, how to buy stuff, how to manage that, can be a little complicated feeling, but I can like break it out into kind of like categories, and then it starts to make a lot more sense to me. So let's see. Sneaky says there's a plugin called Alt Inventory, which, yeah, I do have. Yeah, I'll show y'all. So I have Alt Inventory. There's also Kiki Inventory, which people also like quite a lot. And if your character has opened both their vault and their inventory, and you have also opened shared storage at some point with each of the characters on the server, while having Alt Inventory loaded on your character, it will take the information it finds in, well, and your wardrobe too. Oh, no, not the wardrobe, but it'll take the information it finds in your vault, in your inventory, and in the shared storage, and it plops it in here. And so you can then do searches by, like, just by specific character, or you can be like, show me out of everybody that I know, where are the traceries? Tracery. And so I can go here and be like, okay, I have these maps to Rivendell. Who has that? Venkel has 38 of them. The sealed tracery, Adamantia 3 has 16 of them in their vault, and so forth. So that's something you can use to find where all your stuff is. Now, yes, and as Snafuto points out, Alt Inventory is good, but it does not see inside carryalls, and that is true. It does not see inside carryalls. Well, and B4 can speak more eloquently about this, but basically when the plugins, the information that they have access to is based on what was available when the whole thing was set up, and it was kind of a pet project. Plugin allowing access to information through plugins was like a pet project of somebody at SSG, and that person's no longer there, and they don't have like the staff for somebody to kind of take that on. So carryalls did not exist at the time. So it's a technology it doesn't have that, and it doesn't have the knowledge. And so, yeah, as before says, there's no Lua function, and Lua is the language for the plugins that they speak. So there's no Lua function to say, hey, what's in this bag? And chat messages, which are one of the ways that plugins can track information, there's no chat messages. The chat messages aren't sufficient to track what's where. So any plugin would then get out of sync with the bag contents, says before. So, Snafuto says, I wanted to ask before to make that happen. That's when I read about why it can't see in there. Yeah, it can't see inside carryalls, which is a bit of a shame. It's true. So, yeah, and then as we were talking about things, I just want to point out, you'll notice that here as I'm looking at these traceries, some of these have a level listed, like tracery level 86 legendary. So when I open that, regardless of which character opens it, it's going to be a level 86. Now, if I open it on a minstrel, if it is I think these can come out as any one of those 4 categories that I showed you before. And if it comes out as the class version, it'll come out as a minstrel one. Even though you might be like, oh, I wanted to use that on my lore master. Well, too bad. You should have opened it on your lore master. So the ones that have numbers, levels associated with them, they will open up and be that level regardless of which character opens them. But the ones that you notice that have no level listed, like the sealed tracery rare, the sealed tracery incomparable, sealed tracery legendary, that's that gold one. Those will come out of the box at the level of the person who's opening them. So you want to be very careful with those and make sure that, the character that you are looking to update their stuff, have them open it, because then it'll be their level. The traceries do, though, however, come out bound to account. There's a few exceptions where you have like a bound to character one where your character might get something that's just bound to the character, but generally the traceries, cats being silly, are available to your account bound characters. So you'll get something on one character, and you're able to just like put it in shared storage, and another character can pick it up. I do that sometimes with the what are they called? These heraldry ones. Because like sometimes I'll open something, it's like, oh, I got this, heraldry of the bear. It's got might and vitality. Well, I use will and agility, but hey, that would be great for my Bjorning, so I'll just like pass it over to the other one. Yeah, so my job here with this guy is basically to look at my legendaries here, and I have 2 legendary items. Oh yeah, I think before I mentioned that whole thing. All classes have 2, but hunters are rare, and then they have 2 LI weapons. Oh, like one of them's like a pocket or something normally. I'm so used to playing hunter. I'm like, I don't know what does what does a banana cost? So that's kind of how I feel with my hunter. It's $5. Is that right? Anyway, so my job in the future here will to be to go through these and see what traceries need, what can I upgrade, because if they're just sitting there at the disenchants into 40 ancient script, well, I know I'm working with the purple one, so I can get a higher level purple one at least at this point, and those numbers there that says right now it says like 212 will, 162 vitality. Those numbers will go up if I buy the higher version at least. So, if I'm just sitting here on purples, I might as well do that. But more likely, I'm going to want to go and grab those other things and start using those traceries if I can. Although, just a quick thought, my main is around this level. And so it's possible that I would want to keep the tracery. It says there's 7 of them, these gold ones. So I'll probably want to keep those and use those for my main character when she gets to 116. And then she's like at 112 or something like that, so she's not far. And then whatever's left, then continue to use those on other characters and whatnot. Like these Kaza Doom ones, these are that was the like the level 50 ones, right? So if I have any characters in that range who need a shattered tracery, like I've got 4 of them, they're ready to go. So yeah, so I try to use them up, is what I'm saying. But who's holding them? Adamantia 1, Adamantia 3. What? Venkel. Oh, I have that one. Adamantia 3. Oh, it looks like Adamantia 3 is the one who has most of these then. Oh, no, Rosenblum's got one. Adamantia 3. Shared storage. Armour. Oh, because it's the reclamation scroll. Yeah. All right. Anyway, hopefully that helps a little bit with understanding of legendary item system. Yeah, V4 does say it. They're tricky because some bound to character versions come out of those expansions. So like, which expansion was it? Like maybe Gundabad or something, where you each when you Larg. When you get an expansion, or like these things that we just got, the coffer, each one of your characters gets it. So, and so when you open the coffer, every one of your characters gets all of the goodies. So every time you log into a character, it's like, oh, hey, there's a new box. Log into the next character. Hey, you've got the box. So, okay, yeah. So lots of characters before saying got the Khazad ones because that must have been the Moria expansion maybe. Anyway, now I've got all these things I need to go through and disenchant and whatnot. Anyway, yeah. So I was gonna say, hopefully that helps if you are. Let me look at these again real quick. Shift, double click. There it is. Trying to figure out how to do your legendaries. So there's 4 different categories. So you have to buy the thing that fits the category. And then within each item that you're purchasing, so like burglar, There's the 4 different levels. There's yellow, which is the worst. There's purple, which is the best that you can buy without any of those extra tokens. And then there's blue, which is pretty good. And then there's gold, which is the gold standard. And that's what you want. That's what you want to aim for. But if you can't get that, then blue is the next best. So it's ideally your main character is going to have all gold and blue in their in all of their slots. Now I know I didn't get into the whole thing about this number, this thing here sitting on the side. We didn't even talk about that. But it looks like before's not ready, so I'll go over this real quick. But then I'm probably going to have to go because my head's starting to hurt. There is a thing called enhancement runes. And they come in 4 colors as well, just like everything else. So you've got yellow, and then the purple, and then the blue, and then the gold. This isn't as bad. The yellow increases the level of the spot by 1, purple increases it by 2, blue increases it by 3, gold increases it by 4. Okay, so that's not terrible. All increases are good in this case. Basically what's going on is you have this slot. I can scroll down to the bottom here where this empty one is. So I've got this spot here, this empty Word of Craft spot. And it's saying it can go up to 365. And right now it's got a level 45. So you can upgrade the socket where you're putting these traceries in. That's what this information here is. So by using those enhancement runes, you can increase the level of that spot, of that socket, and by doing so, that will increase the bonuses that you're getting from the tracery itself. And so those you find out on landscape by doing quests. I think you get some of those, like you can get them all over the place. But you can also, I think, oh, not the forge. I think you can also buy them from her. Yes, here you go. So, and now notice these have levels. So this is the level 50, 86. They match the levels of those traceries that we were looking at for 101, 105, or 106, 116, 121, 31, 41. Because what it'll do, so that has that enhancement limit 549, it can increase the level of that spot up to 549. But you have a limit that might be lower than that based on the level of your character and so how far your weapon has been reforged. So once your level, your weapon is reforged to a certain point, you can use enhancement runes from lower level and up to that level to get you to that level. So level 50 enhancement runes will only work to level 50. And a nice little kind of, I don't know, hack in a way is, so this spot here says it's level 45. So I could be throwing some of those low level 50 enhancement runes on that slot and I could get it up to level 50. But the hack part is if I put in a tracery that's, this level 116, where's the one I did? I did the minor ballad, right? Yes. So you'll notice that it now says that it is level 350 out of 365. So there's still room for me to improve it, but it went ahead and bumped it to 350 for me. So all these that are below 350, if I obviously, it says to me, oh, okay, you've got a tracery in there that's not the highest you could have right now. So like this one is the minimum level 106, maximum level 120. So I could get another one that's like this one, which is minimum level 116, max level 130. That's going to bump this slot up to 350. And I just have to then finish leveling it to 365 if I want it maxed out. So I'm not going to spend these low level traceries to move this up, or enhancement runes, I mean. I'm just going to go ahead and buy a good tracery, plop it in there, it'll automatically bump it up quite a lot. And then I just have to finish it off with the enhancement runes. So when you are a low level character, lower level with your legendary items, go ahead and just use those enhancement runes that are of that level. Like, just nom them up, because you're not gonna want to use them later on. So that was the thing I wanted to mention. So yeah, okay, so before I did mention, this is my same problem, before it says my problem after server consolidation is I can't disenchant traceries I don't want because I have too much ancient script. Yeah, if your ancient script is over, if it's over 10,000, it won't let you disenchant the stuff. So yeah. So, and Sneaky says, I'm glad that you can use an ally as a cosmetic. My guard uses a level 86 axe because I love the look of it when he had it on level. Aw, that's nice. Blade's Edge pops into the server, to the chat and says, is PvP a thing in LOTRO, and if so, how does it work? It is a thing. It's actually player versus monster player, as before says. There's a specific place in the game called the Moors, and let me know when you're ready. It's up here, and the only thing that happens in the Moors is player versus monster player. So you can play as a free people, so I could go in as my little fat-bellied minstrel here, and run around there as one of the free peoples or freeps. And opposing me will be people playing monsters, so monster players or creeps. So you have freeps and creeps. And there's like capture the flag situations. There's like attacking each other. There's, there's various stuff going on in that area. And PvMP was something that was started early in the game's inception. And then it has, it kind of waned for a little while, but the developer who was really into it has now come back to SSG, and so it's getting a revival. And in fact, I don't think there's a ping that I can get Moobot to tell us about it. But Orion is the developer who's big on the PvMP stuff, and he and another developer, Scenario, do a monthly stream like this on Thursdays, called we have a cave troll. Let me see, Thursday. Okay, because maybe it's once a month, it's not listed on the streamer thing, or maybe it's Wednesday. Let me see. Wednesday. We need Lady Fortnite. No, okay. So you must. Yeah, it's if you're on the official Discord. I don't know if you're on that, but I can put that. So LOTRO has a Discord now, and they always post the dates on there for when we have a cave troll is happening, and they will talk about various different things. And PvMP is definitely one of the things that comes up, especially when Orion's on by himself. That's pretty much what he talks about most of the whole time, because occasionally, like, their schedules, Scenario can't be there, but Orion will be there, or Scenario will be there, but Orion can't, so they kind of focus in on their stuff. The next one is this Thursday, September 25. Thank you. Orion and Scenario this Thursday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. server time, right here, twitch.tv/LOTRO stream, for we have a cave troll. It says the time has come, and expansion pack preview season has begun. The stream kicks off the first of several streams discussing and previewing the upcoming expansion pack for LOTRO. We'll be talking about what has gone into making this expansion pack and giving details about what to expect within it. So there might not be quite as much PvMP talk about in there, but there might be. There is a thing, wrong place, called the Legendary Item Reward Track, and this is something that the free peoples in your questing can earn experience towards, and then you earn towards various goodies in here. They just started this year, earlier this year, I believe, doing a monster play reward track. So you can earn goodies that are, more into that fun stuff. And so there's some conversation about that recently. There's also a pretty active, I believe, group on the LOTRO forums talking about PvMP. So you can also kind of get the insight on, how it works and where to go and, what how to play from those folks as well there. I haven't really been terribly involved with PvMP. I've been in there a couple times, the Attenmoors, and
I can show it.
there's some stuff in there that there's equipment that's better to have if you're in there, and so I do have some of that, but I don't go in there very frequently. So, but I have that equipment set aside just so I have it ready. So, okay, well, thank you. So B4 is ready. Oh, Blades Edge says thanks. That was a good explanation. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for the question. B4 is streaming right after me with his stream plugging along. I was gonna say we have a cave troll. That's the wrong one. Where he's gonna be talking about some plugins. Oh yeah, and Scenario and Orion are SSG employees, so you're getting it straight from the company there. We're just fans of the game, so we don't. I wouldn't say we don't know anything, but we don't have official knowledge. We just have what we know from what people have said. So, all right. Thanks everybody for coming along for Heart of a Hobbit and joining me on our little adventures here. I'll be back next week and doing who knows what. I know we've got festival coming soon though, so I'm excited because that'll be great. All right, stick around for B4 and his stream plugging along, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.